Welcome into today's Patriots training camp practice report brought to you by Safety Insurance. Alex Barth alongside Scott Zolak here above the practice fields at Gillette Stadium after the Patriots wrapped up their second training camp practice of the summer. The focus today, we saw more team drills, a lot of first down work, and that seemed to fit Drake May well. Started 10 for 10, completing 14 of his 15 passes. Not a lot of pushing the ball down the field, though. It was a lot of, I don't want to say checkdowns because he took some stuff that was like shorter and over the middle, but taking a profit, right, that sort of thing, taking what the defense gave him. And with the context, as Andrew Callahan reported, of it being a first down practice, staying ahead of schedule, which is so important in that Josh McDaniels offense. We want to see Drake May throw the ball deep. His chemistry with the receivers deep is going to be something we'll watch throughout the summer. But I think today you saw, one of the questions for him coming into this year, he needs to be decisive in the pocket without being rushed and wild. And I think you saw today him demonstrating that he can do that.
Yeah, and I think for them too, and for his health and well-being, you want him to take what's given in front of him instead of running. Now, if they are building it from the ground up, and this is Josh's offense, there's no sense coming out here running a ton of digs, deep posts, things. You start with the short game. Those are drive starter type plays. You go out there in a 2-minute drill. First thing you're thinking is I got to draw and I got to check down just to get out of my hands. They're called drive starters. That's what we used to call them all the time. So it's to get the guy in rhythm, get the offense in rhythm, and I think you add to it. Maybe have a little more play action tomorrow, a little more digs with the tight ends, maybe a couple of vertical outs, and we'll see where it goes from there. But this is a learning time right now, and it's about let's get everybody involved, let's spread it. You mentioned it yesterday. No two guys caught more than 2 balls.
Similar vibe today. Nobody had more than 3. It was Diggs and Stevenson had the most with 3. I think Pop had 2.
So it wasn't that they were covering them today. This is an intentional offensive trying to get productivity done offense day.
How important is a day like this, not just for Drake May, but for Josh in installing the offense?
Well, you want to see timing too, right? Because if he's going to call your screens, he needs to know which lineman I'm going to be able to do this with. If I got a guard in there that doesn't move well, I'm not going to call a draw, or I'm not going to call a slip screen where he's got to get out on the perimeter. So timing is of the essence. It's predicated on the whole passing game with that. It's about getting 11 guys on the same page, and they're just grading everybody. So let's get everybody reps, get them in there, because as these days go by, reps become limited. Yeah. Because you start zeroing in on your 1s and 2s, and more specifically your 1s. Then you get to the joints, and it's basically all your 1s taking the reps.
So that's where you mentioned zeroing in. It actually kind of maybe opened things up a little bit more on the offensive line today. So just to reset from yesterday, center was where we saw the rotation. It was Garrett Bradbury starting off, but he rotated in front of Drake May with rookie Jared Wilson, and then Cole Strange, where we thought there'd be the competition at left guard. Yeah. It was just Cole Strange. Today, Jared Wilson continued to rep at center. He did have a bad snap. We should mention that. Okay. Continued to rep at center, but he also repped at left guard next to Bradbury with Strange sitting. So it seems like Jared Wilson maybe is competing for 2 spots, and maybe the competition, we'll see how he does when the pads come on. Obviously, that's so important, right? He has to be evaluated. He has to win the starting spot. But if they look at it and they say, okay, Jared Wilson is one of our 5 best linemen. We need him on the field. Maybe the conversation becomes, and it's just one day, but maybe we get to the point where it shifts to, it's actually Garrett Bradbury at center, Cole Strange at left guard. Who's better in their spot that you can't take off the field for Jared Wilson?
Well, it's the flexibility of that 8th, 9th, potentially lineman that they will keep. Yeah. You've got to be able to play more than just one position. You got to be versatile. And I think the guard center guys, those are the ones that make football teams at the end of the day. I remember sitting in meetings last year with Mayo, and he said, we just don't have a center. There was no depth at the center position last year. Talking about it after Andrews went down. Remember, they had to go get Ben Brown on a Thursday. Yeah. Bring him in, and he was starting at center that week because it's better than anything that you had. They didn't have a lot of good quality centers here last year, and hopefully this is going to turn because I know Mike Reese is worried about the center position. Everything starts there. The calls start with that guy, and he's the guy that sets all the protections before the ball snap.
No, seeing Jared Wilson out there now, he was limited in the spring. He was dealing with an injury. He didn't practice. He didn't do any team drills, so we didn't know what to expect coming into the summer, where his progress would be. Seeing him out there to me is encouraging. That's a guy I think has a real chance to start week 1. I like him, but also, like you said, if it's not him, Garrett Bradbury kind of stepped back last year in Minnesota. Ben Brown's still here, but he feels like more of a spot starter. And then after them, do they try Cole Strange there again? Like a lot kind of clicks into place, I feel like, if Jared Wilson can win that job.
Yeah, and I think, playing Cole Strange at center at the end of last year, if that didn't look great or if it looked really, really good, you're probably not bringing in veteran centers. You're not probably drafting a center. Right. I think Strange is a guard. I don't see him at center. I think he struggled there at times, and he just needs to pick a position. He needs to learn it and run with it if you're going to give him any chance to not only make the team but to play for this football team.
What'd you make of them rotating in Morgan Moses and DeMontre Jacobs? Do you think that's just workload management?
Moses jumped, and I think he was offsides that early part of the drill yesterday. Then he started to get the substitutions right away.
It feels like Moses – we see a lot of tackles around the league do this, right? That thing where like we see defensive linemen jump the snap count, right? He's trying to jump the snap count. I noticed that a few times today. Was he early? It was very close, but that'll get called once or twice in a game to keep him honest.
Remember last preseason how much they were looking for that?
Oh, that was it. It was the Washington game, right? Where
Washington, I was going nuts.
Starts and 5 snaps. Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah. So hey, we warned the sideline not to line up in the neutral zone.
Was that Chooks or Vidarian? I think it was Chooks that kept jumping.
That was Chooks.
Yeah.
Yep, Chooks and Vidarian.
So hopefully that gets avoided this year. On the wide receivers again, it was pretty spread out. Pop Douglas had the catch of the day. Nice little fadeaway, pulling the ball away from Marcellus Dial. Stephon Diggs still very, very busy. A little bit of a step back for Kyle Williams. He had a drop today. And the other guy that stood out to me, Javon Baker got open a couple times. Now, they didn't result in catches. One, he kind of bobbled. It was knocked away by Alex Austin. The other was overthrown. It was deep down the field. It was overthrown by maybe 5 or 10 yards by Josh Dobbs. But he got open for whatever that's worth. So I don't know if a particular receiver stood out to you. But, again, they're spreading the ball around.
There's 2 guys that jump out to me.
Yeah.
It's Diggs and it's Williams.
Yeah.
And I just say that from a route running standpoint, the pumping the feet, the power, the quickness, tight spaces if you're going to be those catch and run guys. And, you get Pop in there a little bit too. I think Pop's having a decent camp so far.
One more thing on the offense. I don't know if you noticed Ben Wildridge at all today, the third-string quarterback, the rookie. He's kind of slinging it.
Is he?
He did some. He had one deep ball where the receiver was open and he should have put it on him. The receiver turned the wrong shoulder, and then he had the next play. He comes back, Lan Larison over the middle in traffic. He dropped the arm down and kind of gave it to him sidearm. So
that's good. He'll be slinging burgers in about 2 weeks. So slinging it one way or the other.
I think he'll be on the practice squad. They're going to keep a third quarterback.
I'm kidding.
He went 4 for 5
You
today.
need arms. You need arms.
Yeah, they do. Defensively.
Yeah.
No Christian Barmore today. That sounded like a load management thing. Doug Kyde reported it was not in relation to setbacks. So they sat in their base defense. A lot of Kairos Tonga, a lot of Jeremiah Farms with a pass breakup working in on that front. Yeah.
And I think Keon White, too. White through 2 days. Looks like they're going to have him up and they're going to have him trying to push that pocket, too. So opposite, what they want to get done on the other side. This could be, I know we talked yesterday, this could be a big jump here for Keon, one way or another.
And they were in that base front, which he was involved in. It was also Jelani Tavai getting some run with that base defense. What do you make of him still being in the mix?
I saw him down here signing autographs yesterday when I was doing for Abel. Yeah. Looks to me like he dropped weight.
It does.
Looks like he got
looks a little smaller.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting because to have the offseason they had where they got rid of so many players who were leaders on the old team or were vocal on the old team, and obviously he had his comments last year that he's still in the mix.
Yeah.
Makes me think they have a plan for him. Among all the guys they cut, that guy's still here.
Interesting. It's interesting. And you got guys like Pepper still here. Marte Mapu, that's a guy you can look at, and I know you think maybe there could be some surprising cuts out there. He could be one of those guys.
Do you guys have a good view of the field goals from up here?
No.
We had a tough view on the hill.
No, just terrible view. Terrible view from here.
That goalpost is blocked. You're right. Anyway, Andy Borgalis was 3 of 4. John Parker Romo was 4 of 4.
Nice.
Behringer was letting some punts go, too. Windy day.
It's a good day to test them because it's going to be a hell of a lot worse than these type of conditions in Gillette.
And, it's always like 2 o'clock, right, when we sit down
You said
and
the wind wasn't as bad down there, huh?
No, it was.
It was, okay.
I mean, look at the flags on the goalpost.
Yeah, we got bad information, and thank you.
I don't know, right on the field, but for kicking, it was definitely a factor.
Interns line and stuff. That's all right.
We'll have more of that tomorrow. We're going to wrap this one up. Again, we'll be doing this every day here. I'll be here every day. Zoe will be here every weekday. Patriots Training Camp, the Patriots Training Camp Practice Report brought to you by Safety Insurance. Make sure you subscribe to the Sports Hub YouTube page. Follow us on social media.
How do I do that? Did I put this on YouTube on my phone?
Yeah.
Or do I have to go to the Sports Hub app?
No, go to YouTube. You can subscribe to us. It'll come up right in your subscriptions. Download the YouTube app. It'll be right there for you. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Download it. Subscribe, just like Zoe's doing. You can do it home. And then also myself, Matt
You make money doing this?
Oh, yeah.
So if I do this, you get paid?
Yeah. Oh, if you subscribe? No, it's views, not subscriptions.
Oh, okay. All right.
But if you go back and watch us tomorrow.
Open. All right.
There you go. 985thesportshub.com. It's that easy. 985 The Sports Hub on YouTube, 985thesportshub.com. Myself and Matt Dolph will have – Matt's already got his standouts up. My notebook will be up if you're watching this live momentarily. And we'll have coverage throughout each practice on 985thesportshub.com.
Quick update for weather for tomorrow. Chance of rain here tomorrow.
So it's supposed to start like right at 2. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully it's not blowing in here on us, but I think practice is going to be dry. So we'll
that'll
talk
be
to you again tomorrow, hopefully from a
Thanks for
dry
watching.
perch above Gillette Stadium. Thanks for tuning in. For Scott Zolak, I'm Alex Barth. We'll talk to you tomorrow.